Chapter 6 should be a continuation of Chapter 3, and here's why. Since we are going into Chapter 2 OG at the end of Chapter 5, we could have a repeat of the flip event with some changes, and we could have a redo of Chapter 3. And because there would be less time spent on the base map, that gives the team at Epic more time to work on great updates throughout the chapter. The loot pool could be the same as before, having guns we already know and love, with some new additions, whether that's new guns or old ones they add back. The Spider-Man mythics could also return, especially now that Disney owns a large chunk of Epic. I would also like to see a chill winter season, similar to Season 7. The new chapter will come out around Christmas time, giving them a perfect opportunity. The start of Chapter 3 had a snow-covered map that they could bring back with new POIs. The storyline would start the same with the flip, but during the event, Jones could do something that cripples the IO that he could be preparing for during Chapter 2 OG. Then when the new Chapter 3/Chapter 6 comes out, the story of Chapter 3 would change. It would start the same, maybe with some alterations to the map, because Jones was messing with time travel, but it would be similar. Then, because Jones stopped the IO before they started a war, Chapter 3 would have a very different story. The war wouldn't have happened, so the Collider would not have exposed the 0 point. So no Vibine attracting the last reality, meaning there's no reason for the Herald to show up. They could bring back the Ice King to cover the map in snow during Christmas, which could move the story in a different direction from before. In the original story, the Ice King's moon was used as the base for the robot. But what if instead, Jones convinced him to move a chunk of the moon down to help stop the IO before they start a war? And this could happen before the flip event. So we would go on the map with different POIs than the Chapter 3 launch. But what if it got boring? Because we'd already seen this map before, people could get bored with it. Well, that is a possibility. I think that because we spent so little time on the map, and the OG season was praised for bringing back an old map, there is already proof people would be okay with an old map returning. So, Chapter 6 can start with an old map and familiar loot pool that we already know, as well as a new storyline that isn't tied to the old Chapter 3 story, so it can give Chapter 3 another chance to be better than it was. Because look at this. What is this? No person with an attention span of under 6 hours or 2 eyeballs would ever want to go through this again. So that's my idea for Chapter 6. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear some ideas about Chapter 6. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video.